Hi everyone, this is Pamela, and this is week 4 post-op of my RNY gastric bypass. So I'm feeling really good and pretty much back to normal. There have been a couple of times where I think I got up and down a little too fast or a little too much. Like, for instance, on Sunday we went to a family party. And it was a lot of getting up and down, talking to everybody and walking around. And my incision got a little sore, but it seemed to help when I came back home and put my binder back on. And I do seem to wear that most of the time when I'm sleeping, and some of the time during the day. It just helps to give a little more support to that incision while it's healing. The surgeon told me not to become dependent on it. I don't know what he really meant by that, but I'm trying not to wear it all the time. But I have to say it is almost like a little security blanket right now, you know, making sure that if I sneeze or if I move a certain way, it kind of holds it together and does make me feel a little more secure. But so I have some good news, and that is that this week I'm down 7 pounds. And that is a total of 43 pounds. So I am down to 319 from a high of 362. And I obviously have a long way to go, but I am already feeling some good NSVs from this. For instance, I took a shower today and I noticed that when I got out, I felt good. I felt fine. I just got out and, dried off, combed my hair, just got dressed and everything. Whereas before the surgery, at my highest weight, if I took a shower, I would get out and go in my room, and I would literally have to sit down on my bed and catch my breath, because just the act of taking a shower would leave me winded. So I'm already reaping some health benefits, and that's the best part of this whole thing for me. Another health benefit that has been happening is that, well, first of all, when I left the hospital, the doctor took me off. I shouldn't say took me off. I was told not to take any of my regular medications except for my Synthroid, which is for my thyroid, prior to coming in for the surgery. While I was in the hospital, that is the only thing that they gave me. And my blood pressure was good and everything else was good. My blood sugars were actually not good in the hospital because of all the glucose in the IV fluid. But the doctor did say when I was discharged to not resume my blood pressure medication or the metformin, which is for my diabetes, and just to monitor at home. So I do naturally have a glucose monitor, and I did have a blood pressure monitor, but for the life of me, I can't find it. So I figured it's already been 4 weeks almost since I've been home from the hospital, and I haven't even checked my blood pressure. So I think I better do that. So I went to Walgreens tonight and I picked up a new one, and I just took my blood pressure and it was normal. And that is 4 weeks of no blood pressure medications. So that's just absolutely fabulous, because I've been on blood pressure medication for years and years. And it's funny because even when I lost weight before, it still didn't bring down my blood pressure like this. So obviously the act of having gastric bypass, in some way, there's some mechanism that also helps with some of these other medical problems that we sometimes have. So anyway, I'm going to count that as an NSV, a big time NSV, and I'm really psyched about that. I wanted to just talk a little bit about what I'm eating, which is almost the hardest part for me, because it was easy right after surgery. I had my protein shakes and I had water or Crystal Light or some other kind of fluids. Then when they tell you to start adding in certain things, it's, what should I add? It's almost like I was a little bit afraid to add things to see if it was going to make me sick or if it was going to hurt. And so far, I've been very, very careful on what I eat and how I eat it. And knock on wood, I have not gotten sick. I've not thrown up. I've not had any pain, anything like that. And as soon as I start to feel in the least bit full, I stop. But what has sort of been my routine lately is I get up in the morning, I have a half of a yogurt, which I get from Wegmans. It's the Wegmans brand, but it's just a light yogurt with no actual fruit in it. It's just all creamy and no added sugar. So I have a half of the yogurt, into which I put I have Prilosec to lower the acid in my stomach. That's a prescription that the doctor gave me. It's a capsule, and inside are little beads. They look like little beads. And since it's time release, you're not supposed to chew them. So I open up the capsule, dump the beads right on top of the yogurt, and then I just take a spoonful of it and just swallow the whole thing. Then I eat a little bit more, and then I take my biotin, which is also a capsule and it has a powder inside, and I open that up, dump it in the yogurt, mix it up, and then finish that. So that's what I've been having every morning first thing. A little while after that, I'll usually have a protein shake. And so now that I can incorporate some pureed foods and soft foods, one thing that I found that's been very easy for me is a scrambled egg. So I will spray a pan with a little bit of butter spray, pan butter flavor spray, and scramble one egg, cook it very lightly, and then I put like a half of a slice of cheese on that, let it melt. And that's been great. That's delicious. It goes down well, stays down. I've had cottage cheese, and I've had a couple of soups, and not a whole lot more. I mean, I think that's kind of my problem. I need to really think about what I want to eat and incorporate into my diet, because I think otherwise you get stuck in a rut of eating the same thing that you know is not going to hurt you or it's not going to bother you, but you're not really getting a wide variety of nutrients that way. I do take my vitamins, but I know that, I'm going to have to incorporate some other foods. Saturday I had a family party. I didn't eat anything there. I just took my Crystal Light with me in a big bottle, and I just drank that, because we were only there about maybe like 3 or 4 hours. And I ate before we left, and I didn't need to eat there. And then Sunday, we went to another family party, and we were there actually more like 5 or 6 hours. And when the food was put out, I didn't think I was going to eat anything, but then I went around and I looked, and there were little tiny mozzarella balls. So I took 2 of those, a little spoonful of the scalloped potatoes, and one a deviled egg half. So I put those in my little bowl, and I did eat the mozzarella. That was no problem. I ate some of the scalloped potatoes, which by the way were delicious. But since I hadn't had them yet, I was eating it very tentatively and, just waiting to see. But that was fine. And then the deviled egg, I just kind of ate in the middle of it. I didn't eat the egg white. So, I mean, it wasn't very much, but it was enough where I felt like I was eating with everyone else, and believe it or not, I did get full, so that was fine. And so I'm managing. I'm getting in some different things and managing to go and have a good time at parties and not feel like... it's funny, because a couple of people asked me, this is my family. Oh, okay, let me back up a minute. It was my family party. Everyone knew I had gastric bypass. So they were okay with it. They didn't ask me, anything to do with, oh, should you be eating that? Or they just pretty much let me choose what I want, and were very supportive about it. And actually didn't really even, it didn't, everybody was so busy. I guess this is my point. It took me a long time to get to it. But everybody's busy eating their own stuff. They're not really concerned with what I'm eating. And that was really, once again, my battery's dying, so I'll just say goodbye now. Bye-bye. See you next week.